from APSA and from GPEAN can reflect, share your reflection on the whole program, yeah, substantially, and perhaps also some aspect of the technicality that may also will be useful for the next Congress. Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, so maybe without further ado, I would like to ask first, perhaps from Eduardo, and then Prof. Lee, and then Pak Iwan. Eduardo.
Thank you, Bobby. Well, it was really an astonishing and very successful event. I'm really very happy to be here, and I would like to thank very much the local organizing committee for such a beautiful event. I think there are many things that we can bring to our next congresses. For instance, the international competition, the PhD colloquium, the studios, the planning studios. I think we might consider it in the future. And also for the number of people we had here, around 700 people, as they said, 400 online and 300 offline. I think we might consider also that the next events could be hybrids, because it was a challenge. It was very challenging, a big challenge in the beginning. We are quite afraid of it, actually, all of us, because it's not very easy. And we are getting accustomed to this thing, because this is one thing that the COVID caused, I think, all over the world, is to have this online situation together with the offline. So it was quite successful. So this is something that we might use in the future as well, because it allowed people that couldn't come here to participate, and also to could see the event. So I think it's quite interesting. Another thing that I would like to say is that some issues came from most of the parallel sessions, and I think the issue of climate change was quite important. And of course, it was interesting that this Congress was done here in Indonesia, because you are quite accustomed to work with risky planning, yeah. And this is something that, as I said in my first speech, is that, well, the extreme climate events are here to stay, and we, as urban planners, have to learn how to deal with that, because they are going to be even more necessary in the future. Another thing that I think it was quite interesting having this Congress here in Bali is I participated. I just came from the book launch from the Asian Development Bank, and I also participated in a roundtable about informality. And I think these are some issues that are quite important for us to consider, considering that some of us come from the global, so-called global South, yeah, where 3/4 of the population lives and just 1/5% of the global income is. So it's quite an important issue. If we want really to consider about urban planning, we have to think about this 3/4 of the population. So I think it was quite interesting having it here in Indonesia. So another thing I think it's nice to tell you, of course, we're gonna have a closing meeting of the GPEAN Council, is that probably we will try to have our next Congress in 4 years, because, you know, this one is 6 years from the last one. And as far as I know, Bruce sent me the notes of the meeting in this morning. Maybe we will consider the next one 4 years, and the other ones maybe also in 4 years. We will discuss it in our meeting after this. So I think that's it. Thank you very much, Iwan. Thank you, Bobby. It was really a successful and wonderful event. Thank you very much.
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to express my deepest thanks to the Indonesian people to prepare this beautiful and huge event. And I really enjoyed this time of the APSA and GPEAN and W World Planning School Association. Yeah, and because of the COVID, we couldn't have opportunity to be together and talk with each other. But this time, I could see so many people from around the more than 40 countries, and I met some people who I couldn't see for a long time, more than 5 years or 6 years ago. Yes, and one of the most interesting point that I felt was that I realized we used very similar keywords. So the planning, green, and the housing, innovation, and the first industrial revolution, and the spatial planning or spatial inequality. So many keywords are very similar. So so many similar keywords are in our brain. But I talked with people from Papua, people from Brazil, people from Japan, people from Nepal, people from Australia, and people from ADP. I also found many differences of their recognition of the various phenomena. And one of my students who made presentations yesterday came to me, and he got a very, very precious opportunity to think about some fundamental issues that could not be raised in South Korea. For example, let me talk to you in more detail. In the case of South Korea, the housing price are determined by usually accessibility to private education. It is very important in South Korea. And if you go to prosperous city, there are much more women than men. And he made a research about relating to this issue. But in the case of South Korea, those two phenomena are accepted as natural. Nobody does not raise those phenomena as a problem. But in the session, the discussant raised hand. Why is it natural in South Korea? How can you explain in common ground? So although we have very similar keyword, very similar perception, and very similar academic discipline, our recognition and our perceiving to see our everyday life can be very different. So those kind of commonness and those kind of differences can be kind of a great source of innovation. So I really realized again how precious this kind of meetings are. So right after I go back to my country, I have a plan to collect or to make some meeting to gathering the whole kind of scholars or professionals. Let's try to make a long-term plan to participate more actively this kind of the international cooperation, international meetings. Okay, so I will share those kind of long-term plan with the APSA and with GPEAN afterwards. Thank you.
Pak. Yes, I have, privilege to ask someone to also share his or her reflections. So
maybe later, let me finish first, and then we call everybody. Yeah, Chris, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'll ask Chris to give his reflection as well.
Yeah, I think we can give the floor after this. Yeah, just for short words. Okay, everybody, I would like to thank also firstly to GPEAN and ASA that has appointed us as the local committee for to organize this very precious Congress, yeah, World Planning School Congress and Asian School Planning Association Congress in 2022. Otherwise, we won't have such kind of very challenging experience to organize this a big, huge event, I can say. Yeah. So I would like to thank also to our team, but maybe I will do it later, yeah, during our dinner, yeah. So maybe it will be a right time to do this kind of congratulations to our local team. As you know that ASPI, I think we call as a newbie, yeah, a new. I think we are the youngest one, as already mentioned, yeah, in this association. So we are newbie, and we have such a huge experience to organize this huge event. So I cannot imagine that, you know. Normally we only have a national conference, a seminar event, yeah. But now we have a world event. So thank you to you, yeah, to Eduardo, to Yongsung, and to Zorika, and also to David. That was. Let me look back 3 years ago, yeah. I remember me, Pak Bobby, Pak Holly, Pak Sani, Pak Widodo, and Pak Deva at the time. We made our first communication with you to that we share our interest to have this kind of conference, yeah. At the time, it was between 9 to 10 p.m. in Indonesia, yeah. And then after that, we just give our interest that we would like to have this conference in Indonesia. We never imagine what will be, what could be the conference is that, but we are very interested at the time. So now it has been happening. So I would like to thank you very much also to our GPEAN colleague, allow us to have this such a huge conference in Indonesia. And of course, we have learned so many issues, themes, innovation regarding planning, education, and so on. And we have learned also many things that, I learned also some new thing which related to my field, yeah, to geoinformation, geodata, and so on, yeah, spatial planning, rural planning, and so on. And it is also a great moment to know each other. Normally, I only know some of you from your book, from your articles. Yeah, no, it is a great opportunity to see each other. So I know this is the person who wrote this one. This is the person who has has many articles in one journal. So it is. I think it is a great moment for me. Yeah. So I cannot imagine that. Yes. And as the last things to do, I would like to call of you. I mean, you know, our member, you know, ASPI is quite young, so quite young, and therefore I would like to call to everybody from ASPI member to looking forward for further cooperation with our partner from GPEAN and also from APSA. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Sorry, still I like to hear reflection from Chris perhaps, and Bruce perhaps, I don't know.
Bobby, thank you for putting me right on the spot right away. But I actually, I really have to give sincere thanks not only to Bobby, Iwan, and the rest of the team here for hosting, I think, the most ambitious version of the GPEAN conferences that congresses that we've ever had. When you think of all the components that were built in to this one, you know, obviously the issue of having to do hybrid sessions, having actually in some cases, I did a session that was completely online, building in both the PhD program as well as the studio program built into it. But then think about this, we had book launch sessions, we had an amazing set of sessions that actually was ITB's Plano Cosmo conference because they decided to connect with the GPEAN Congress, where we actually explored in its amazing detail some of the aspects of the new capital city that's being developed in Indonesia. Again, it was. That's why he's so happy. It's almost over. Almost, you know. But again, and I hope everybody got a sense of the breadth of what was going on here. And also, I think the comments of Eduardo and Professor Lee about the way in which there was also intellectual engagement. There was also an opportunity to see things from a different perspective. Those of us who have obviously, we've gone to GPEAN since Shanghai, we understand that, but every 5 or 6 years, we get reminded of how important it is and the relationships that you begin to develop. The other thing is, I really have to compliment you on the food. I mean, this is my second home, Indonesia, and the food is fantastic. So, and it wasn't all the same. If you noticed, every meal was a little different. So, and there was enough. So anyway, terima kasih semua orang. Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah. Well, just to respond to you, the first planning school established in Indonesia was at ITB 1959, which means now already 63 years old. Yeah, but the ASPI was established 2000, which means 20-something years old. I mentioned yesterday that from my perspective, ASPI is now in a maturity stage, yeah, but need to look for further roles, especially for Indonesia. So hopefully, and I said also that internationalization and globalizing the ASPI may become the future agenda of ASPI. But hopefully for ASPI, this event will be really useful for still long-term development of ASPI. Bruce. I'm not asking you as a senior.
Thank you, Bobby. I think I got less notice than Chris did. It has been such a pleasure to be here in Nusa Dua and to visit with all of you. And I have to say that the GPEAN project, the World Planning Schools Congress project, was an infant idea 25 years ago in Toronto in 1996 when the concept was first hatched. And in 1996, very few of us knew colleagues around the world outside of our home countries. And the project has really made an incredible difference in planning scholarship and in planning practice around the world. We have seen that, as Professor Lee said, that we share so many common ideas, common aspirations, aims, challenges, but we do it in different ways. And by talking to one another, we have learned new ways of doing things in our own countries that we never would have imagined if we didn't have this interaction. And we had a session this morning, and Zorica Nedovic-Budic was there, and she said that because of the World Congress, I became a cosmopolitan planner and planning educator. And I just thought that captured, yes, so much of what this has been about. As we sit here, we're 20 years since the signing of the GPEAN Charter, since the original 9 organizations founded GPEAN, and we're now 11 organizations. And so we're trying to think of where does GPEAN go next? What else is possible? The idea was a great one. The trust has been built. These 11 associations now understand and trust each other. And the question is, what comes next? How do we build on this and create a greater cooperation, collaboration across planning educators around the world? And there have been 2 sessions. The presidents of the associations met yesterday and came up with a long list. And this morning at a roundtable, a number of you and others from this Congress put out other ideas. And I won't share the list with you now, given the time, but it will be shared in time with the community. But it's about building the capacities of our associations and our schools, fostering greater collaboration amongst planning educators, increasing the profile of planning and planning education globally, serving as a clearinghouse to bring information together across our associations and our schools, supporting the development of young and emerging planning scholars, and at a greater extent influencing international policy about planning through the voice of planning educators. So those are the kinds of things that the council is going to be discussing and putting out in the community for others to react to. And I'm confident that in these next years, you're going to see a much bigger and much more impactful voice for planning education around the world. To the ASPI organizers, thank you so much for a beautiful, wonderful week here in Nusa Dua. And to all of you, thank you for your energies and your ideas.
Well, perhaps last but not least, I would like to ask reflection from someone who this is the first time to attend the World Planning School Congress, and seem that Sonia this is for first time for you too. That's you are a good person to give reflection.
Thank you, Pak Bobby. Well, thank you so much. I think that it's been a great opportunity, mainly for many of us to be able to meet in person for the first time after a long break with COVID. And I think that many of us have enjoyed that a lot, catching up with people for the first time. I really want to congratulate the local committee, because I can imagine how much work you have put in and how much you want to finish this event and have some holidays. It's been a pleasure. It's been really nice to share ideas and to meet old people, but also new friends and new colleagues. And I'm very much looking forward to the next one. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. Well, we are friends, and she's the one who continue to monitor my face. Yeah, and he you know that Bobby was getting smile and smile, especially today at the end of the session. Yeah, well, yeah, one more from ASPI perhaps. Yeah, oh, student, Reza. Yeah, Reza, how many students are involved here? More than 30 something, yeah? So yeah, more than 30 students helping us work very hard, no sleep compared to Eduardo. So let's ask Reza. Reza, give some comments.
Okay, hello everyone. What kind of comment?
This event, what you
okay.
learned from this?
My first time in this to join in this event is in 2020. Yeah, that was Bu Yani and Prof. Bobby asked me to join in this event, and after that, we through a long journey to until this time, ups and downs, and finally we can continue. Yeah, finally we can go to Bali and and run this event. Yeah, thank you everyone.
Well, the reason to ask students to participate is because they are the future of our world, right? So by bringing more than 30 students, hopefully those young planners while learning this event will at least have in their mind that we have a very bright, great future, as Bruce also mentioned that GPEAN and APSA have a very great future. Tepuk tangan untuk Reza, ya. Pak Iwan, I think now is good time to mengundang satu persatu, ya. I think because tonight then I would like to invite all of the local organizing committee now, not on the dinner, so that people will really mark. First one, of course, gimana Pak Iwan?
We can do that, yeah. Here. No problem, but we can do that also again, yeah.
Again,
closing dinner.
Yeah. Okay, one, I think the Vice President of ASPI, Pak Dele. Yeah.
Prof Dele Hudala. Yeah. He is our Vice President and our scientific committee for this conference.
If you complain about the 13 tracks the kid is on, this Pak Dele. Pak Dele. Ya, terima kasih Pak Dele. Ya. Next is Pak Holly, the Secretary of the ASPI.
Holly Winawijaya.
It's really the backbone of the local organizing committee. Yeah.
He is the man behind all this organization of joint Zoom event.
Yeah, Pak Holly. There's the programmer of this conference, Budian.
Budian, yeah.
Budian.
Dealing with program.
She is the one who put everything into one complete program. Yeah.
Thank you.
The secretary, Buyani.
Buyani also, yeah.
Have a contact, yeah.
Right.
Then the IT team is very much important. Really the backbone of the whole process is we are having a hybrid. Pak Isnu. And,
where is Pak Isnu?
Oh, Isnu.
Oh.
And then Mas
Indra. Where is
Mas Indra?
Indra. Okay, thank you very much.
Mas
Sukruf.
Sukruf, yeah.
It's not here. Oh,
yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And looks, Bruce, at the young, bright people, what we have in ASPI, yeah. So,
and Hapsi.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Apa lagi, Pak?
Ya, Bunda, the most precious person. Our treasure, you know.
Oh yeah,
don't
Bu
forget that
Andani.
one.
Bu Andani.
Where's Bu Andani? He was here. Okay.
And Rere.
Regina. Yeah.
Don't forget that you have to report the you know.
Yeah,
to GPEAN.
We have to report to GPEAN and APSA.
Well, that's all. But again, the difficulties that we found that the local organizing committee is consists of several universities. Yeah.
Pak Bobi, don't forget we have also a person who in charge in international joint studio.
Oh yeah.
And student meeting.
Yeah.
And also the student competition. Yeah, I suppose
who
they are
will be
here.
for the student meeting. Yeah, this is something that also you one in the GPEAN tradition. Yeah.
And Buidia, Buini and Buidia.
Buwi and Buwidia from
ITNAS.
And then student competition.
Bu Ima, Bu Mei dan Bu Ima.
Bu Mei and Bu Ima.
Okay, thank you very much, both of you.
$2,000 for the first.
The joint studio international. Pak Bobi.
International joint studio. Bu Wiwi.
Not in here, Pak Bobi.
Okay.
Ya.
Siapa lagi, Pak?
Kolokium.
PhD Kolokium.
Hey.
Pak Iwan. Yeah. That's I think all of the local organizing committee. On the mobile workshop, Budia. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's busy right
tomorrow.
now preparing for the tomorrow mobile workshop. Those who are not joined, please.
And Pak Edi, Pak. And Pak Edi, our local partner from Bali University. Yeah.
Well, that's all. Perhaps all the and also, of course, We thank very much to the steering committee from GPEAN, Eduardo, Zorika, and David, who are not able to come, but with their assistance that we can come to this very successful event. Terima kasih, Eduardo. Right, close, right?
Yeah, closing statement.
So I declare the ceremony is closed. Thank you very much. I have already talked, but anyway, it was really a nice, wonderful event. And I want to thank you really very much from the bottom of my heart. It was really touching. Thank you very much. It was nice.
Dinnernya jam berapa?
After this, we will have APSA meeting first at 4, yeah, in Legion 1. And at 17, at 5, we will have GPEAN meeting at GPEAN in Legion 1 and APSA Legion 2. Yeah, we'll start right away, I think, with APSA first at 16, and then at 17 with GPEAN. And don't forget, at 7, we will have a closing dinner in the main hall where we had our plenary session. Everybody are invited. Yeah, maybe you have family, just bring it also.
Maybe we can close by Indonesian, tradition or ritual group picture.
Group is very big, Paul. Yeah, let's try. Also,
Well, I want to.
kata Bu Andani dipecah. Pecah tuh katanya. So everybody, we are trying to make picture and I hope everybody could gather here in this site. Hopefully we are able to take a big picture here.
Eduardo, you are. Okay, come on. Come. Although you have to sit down, otherwise you will. Yeah, you'll block everybody. Yeah. Oh, please, sorry. Yang mudah-mudahan di depan nggak apa-apa di bawah. Ya, relax. Mario, boleh. All right. Mary. It's no. Desa. Bawahin. Di bawah itu les. Bawah itu. Mari. Duduk mari. Boleh pulang ini, Pak. Masih bertugas ini, Pak. Ini kan. That's good.
Dari Saman, Pak di Bali sebenarnya Saman. Ada yang pakai masker, ada yang tidak. Bagaimana? Sudah selesai, berarti pakai masker. Dia emang jos. Ya, 1, 2, 3. Kali 1, 2, 3. Seksi. Satu lagi. Ya, 1, 2, 3, balik. Know what to say, man. Selamat sampai was really